Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Q&A show. My name is Bob Theriot, and I'm really excited to have you here tonight. If you guys are stumbling upon this show tonight, you're joining a very special night. This is something I've been putting together for the last couple of weeks, and I was so excited when my next guest agreed to come on, and I can't wait for you guys to meet him. You probably already know who he is, but if you haven't, your mind's going to open up to a whole new world of marketing and marketing strategies. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching this right now, hashtag live. If you happen to see this show somewhere down the road, hashtag replay so we know that you saw it. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and chime in. Don't be afraid to hit that smash that heart button. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. It's not going to electrocute your finger. It helps us get the words out. And we're really excited to bring our next guest to you.1before I bring him on, let me just give you a little bit of background about him. He is the co-founder of Crazy Egg, Hello Bar, and Kiss Metrics. He helps companies like Amazon, NBC, GM, HP, and Viacom grow their revenue. The Wall Street Journal called him a top influencer on the web. Forbes says he is one of the top 10 marketers, and Entrepreneur Magazine says he created one of the top 100 most brilliant companies. He was recognized as a top 100 entrepreneur under the age of 30 by President Obama. Neil has also been awarded the congressional recognition from the United States House of Representatives. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Mr. Neil Patel. Let me bring him on here. Hey, Neil.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. I got a little bit nervous there and a little bit of miscommunication. And so I'm so glad we're able to connect there.
No worries. Just happy to be here.
Hey, so Neil, I gave a little bit of background about what you do. So how did you get into internet marketing?
The way I got into internet marketing is I started a website back in the day. It was a job board. It didn't do well. And I hired a marketing firm to get me the traffic, and they ripped me off, provided no results. And then from being broke and frustrated, I had no choice but to learn it on my own. And I got good at it, and I found that I loved marketing more than creating a job board. And eventually the job board got a ton of traffic. I didn't do well with the job board. I still made no money, but I was good at the marketing part. And then I started offering that to other people.
So that was your springboard into it.
Correct.
And so did you have a job, or did you just have to leave a job to get into it, or how did that work out?
Well, I was 16 at the time, so I was at Knott's Berry Farm cleaning toilets and picking up trash. It wasn't too much of a career that I left.
Can you tell us a little bit about your companies, Kiss Metrics, Crazy Egg, Hello Bar?
Yeah, Kiss Metrics is no longer around. I bought the company didn't do well. I ended up buying the website Kiss Metrics in an asset sale more than a year ago, or around a year ago. I ended up buying it in early 2018, I believe, or late 2017. So Crazy Egg is a heat map analytics company. It shows people where they engage, where they don't engage, how to optimize the site. So when you're getting all those visitors, you can convert more of them into customers. And then I have an ad agency called Neil Patel Digital that focuses on enterprise companies. And then I have an ad agency for SMB businesses called Neil Patel Excel that focuses on smaller businesses.
Wow. So do you have a lot of people that work in your organization?
I do. It was funny. Someone asked me that question today, and I was like, I don't know. I know it's in the hundreds, but I don't know how many people. Because we have offices everywhere, like in Belo, which is Belo Horizonte. I don't even know how to say it, in Brazil. We have an office in India. I think this year we may have opened up a second office in India. We have, I know the main one's in Bangalore. We have an office in Lehigh, Utah. We have an office in San Diego, California. But yeah, after a while, you don't really count. You just want to make sure everyone's happy and loves working there, and clients and customers are happy as well.
Do you have to travel to all those offices very often? Or are you able to work remotely?
I work out of my home most of the time. I rarely go into the office. I work with the people, though, very often on a daily basis through Skype, Slack, video conferencing. I just don't go into the office too often.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, right? I mean, that's you get to you're not sitting at home, you're working, but you don't have to travel as much with digital marketing. Yeah. So at the Impact Summit, I saw you a few weeks ago, and you did a presentation on global branding, which I thought was awesome. I mean, I was riveted by the information that you shared there. Can you talk a little bit about global branding? And because on here we have a lot of real estate agents, digital marketers, local businesses. So can you talk a little bit about global branding, what you spoke about at the summit?
Yeah, I talked about just how to build a global brand, and I talked about things like you should go live on Facebook. And we're here today. I was saying that's a great way to build a brand. Consider doing things like podcasting. You need a blog. You know, you need to be out there everywhere. Marketing's changed to an omni-channel approach. You know, Facebook is harder to leverage than it used to be before. The algorithm squeezes the reach or limits the reach. SEO is harder than it was before, but you could start combining all of this. You're going to be better off. Even like taking those pictures and uploading on Instagram. It has great engagement right now, and who knows how long it'll last, but you got to be everywhere, because then when someone sees you 7 times, they're more likely to connect with you, your brand, and that's when you'll do better.
Yeah. And don't you think that people always have to be on top of it? If you're a local business, it's changing so fast with digital, and it's just not the same. And I always find myself preaching to local businesses about how things are going to keep changing. And there's some people that are still stuck in, well, billboards work for me, and they do, but it has changed a lot. When you agree that it's just, you have to stay on top of it as a marketer.
Yeah, and billboards are expensive too. Like, who wants to spend all that money on billboards when you don't have to?
Right, with the long-term contract.
That's right.
Yeah. So how feasible do you think it is for a small mom and pop shop to just come out of obscurity and become a global brand? I mean, would you say it's moderately easy, or it's just going to be really, really hard?
It takes a lot of work, and it is hard. But if I was a small mom and pop, I wouldn't try to be a global brand. I would try to be a local brand.
Right.
And do the same tactics, but focus on your region and the area you're in.
And would you start with when you are, I don't even, you don't really work with really small businesses anymore. I'm sure at a time you did, correct?
Yeah, we still do. So my ad agency, Neil Patel XL, or NPXL, that works with small and medium businesses, like mom and pops, literally like mom and pop, like a flower shop it could be. And
so what do they come to you most often with? What's their biggest issue that they have? Do you see a trend?
Yeah, they just want to make more money, and we help them through marketing, and we either see if it's a conversion problem, a traffic problem, rankings problem, paid ads problem, and from there we figure out solutions.
Yeah. And so I know that you're constantly giving away content, and I see a lot of your stuff on LinkedIn. Would you recommend that people stay on LinkedIn or go on LinkedIn, or would they start a LinkedIn channel first, or maybe a YouTube channel first? Where would you take them down that avenue? Because an omnipresence, unless you have a lot of time and effort, it's kind of hard unless you have people helping you.
Yeah, I would. So you can pick any channel that you want, whatever you think is going to be ideal for your audience. Go from that. And then later you can expand into LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever it may be. But typically, if you're a smaller business, LinkedIn isn't going to be the ideal channel. It's either going to be Facebook or YouTube. Or Instagram, and then you can go from there.
That's awesome. So what do you have any like really quick tips that you can give a small business? Like, what's the first thing they should focus on? I know everybody's different, but there is some mainstream, or there's some foundational things they should do.
Yeah, collect emails. I think it's a wise thing to collect emails, because you can always remarket to those people and get them to purchase again. Another thing to do is always have upsells and downsells. Once someone buys your product and service, sell them more. It's easier to make more money from an existing customer than it is to get new customers. And 3, once you do both those things, consider paid advertising, because if you can have the upsells, downsells, you can make more money per customer. There's good money to be made if you can ramp up, and paid ads works out great.
Yeah. There's a lot of digital marketers out there right now. Where do you think marketing's going? Where do you see the trend heading? I remember watching you came out. Bless you. I remember you're welcome. I remember you coming out with the YouTube channel early in the year for 2019, and you were talking about some tips on funnels for 2019 and blogging at least once a week. Do you see, has that changed? We're in the second quarter. What do you think is going to happen this coming year and maybe even next year?
Yeah, so I don't think the tips I gave changed, but more so, let's talk about what's coming up next year.
Okay.
Voice search is going to take over. Most people are going to use search through voice, so you need to be there. And some of these things are in the video as a tips, but so voice search is taking over. The second big thing is you're going to see a connection between offline and online, right? So right now you're seeing mainly the ads on your computer, but what's going to happen when your fridge is tech-based and you're out of milk? You're going to see maybe Google or Facebook powering the ads on your fridge and being like, hey, we notice you are running out of Altadena milk. Have you thought about trying Silk almond milk? It's half the cost and it's more nutritious, and we'll even give you a 10% coupon and get it delivered to you in the next 2 hours. Right? And I'm not saying that's true about almond milk. I'm making it up. I have
right.
I'm just giving an example. And that's what you're going to start seeing is your fridge, your stove, all this kind of stuff. You're going to start seeing ads everywhere. It's going to be integrated more offline.
And you're thinking that's going to happen next year with these manufacturers?
You're going to start seeing it happen next year, and then the year after you'll see more and more, but it'll slowly start happening.
I have a big real estate agent following here, and I had some questions in regards to what do you think real estate should do as far as building? Do you think they should build their brand first or keep collecting those emails? I know there's a combination of things, but what would you recommend?
First thing agents need to do is they're already on the Redfins, the Zillows, which they all do now. They spend money on ads. You may collect the emails, but here's a big mistake real estate agents make in marketing. When they do get a lead, they don't respond right away. Mm-hmm. If you respond in the first 5 minutes, you're much more likely, more than double, to close that customer.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing. Like I've bought in real estate so many times, and you'll be shocked on how many people take their time to respond. And I was like, cool, move on to the next. Can't get a hold of anyone when I call, on to the next. Like if someone calls you and they can't get a hold of you and you're in a meeting, you can at least text the number back and have like a default text. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm so sorry. I'm at a showing right now. Can I call you back within 30 minutes or an hour or something like that? That simple thing will get you more customers. Agents are looking for more new people versus following up consistently with the people they have.
Yeah, that's true. And so I know we're digital marketers and you're a digital marketer. You run these companies, but just that example you gave of offline strategies, they have to work in tandem. And there's a lot of I guess, a lot of examples we can use, right? Don't you think that not following up and there's other things that people aren't doing? They're getting the leads, but they're just not following through. Then there's a whole talk about sales strategies. That's a whole different subject.
Exactly. It's all about the follow-up. Use email, use text messaging, all these channels to follow up with the people you have. Don't worry about getting too many new people. Focus on the customers you have. That's the best thing you can do. And then from there, you should blog about homes in your space. Not just what's for sale, but what's a bad deal, what's a good deal, what you should look for, where the market's moving, trends, all that kind of stuff. People want to read that from local agents. They don't want to read that from Zillow.
Right. And Zillow is a big monster. I mean, there's brokerages that's all they do. They put all their ad spend into Zillow. It's amazing.
That's right.
Imagine if they had an army or all their brokerages blogging or vlogging. Would you start with blogging, or would you say some people don't like to write, or would you say, hey, we'll try vlogging? Some people don't like to go on camera, so it's a combination, or either or.
Yeah, I would do either or. But I would do text-based blogging or video-based, one or the other.
And how do you see video changing? Do you see video changing the landscape? I mean, more and more of it is becoming video, right? Like you said, live. You think it's just going to become more immersive like that with video?
Yes, I do think it will. It's people prefer video over text. That's all the data that we're seeing.
That's all the data. Would you recommend that people invest in maybe video equipment and trying to do things more professionally, or you think it's more organic, like hold a phone in front of you and talk?
Hold a phone. It's good enough. People like it because it's real and they know it's not studio. I need to do that more. My camera has quite a bit of fuzzies in there because it's a really old phone. I think it's like 4 or 5 years at this point, but I should be doing that more. It's very effective.
It's very effective. You do go into a studio on some of your stuff on YouTube, right?
I do. And I do that because I prefer that. I don't like sharing too much of my personal life.
Right.
Funny enough, I'm in the process of creating a studio in my home, so I don't have to go to the studio.
That's what I did.
Yeah, it's the best thing. I'm tired of going. So I'm like, let me just do it in my home.
So what do you have coming plans? Anything you want to share with the audience right now that you've got in the works, that you've got cooking?
No, nothing really, but check out my marketing tool, Uber Suggests. It's a free marketing tool, and it does wonders for you, and it doesn't cost anything. So I'm like,
It's free.
It's free, 100%.
So you recommend people go to Uber Suggest, and it tells you keywords. It gives you a whole bunch of information. I've used it.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of stuff that you need. So it's like, why pay? I give you a ton for free.
Leading with value, right?
That's right. I try to. Not always, but I try to.
But people out there too, they forget about that, right? It's all about, hey, look at me. What can I, look at what I have to say. It's like sell, sell, sell. And they forget to like lead with value and give up something away before you ask for anything in return. Wouldn't you say?
I totally agree with that. More people need to shoot for value, and they're not shooting for value. I don't know why, but if you give, eventually you'll sell, sell, sell.
You think lead magnets are still working like ebooks? Or would you say informational videos like this work better?
Both work. Ebooks, cheat sheets work really well. Anything that people can get to consume the information quick and easy, and it's awesome. You'll be better off. You just can't do it where, hey, I'm going to give you a 32-page ebook. No one's going to read it, but you give like 10 tips, like amazing tips that they haven't seen before, like a market trend report, whatever the month is. So let's say April trend report, or May trend report, housing, whatever it may be, that kind of stuff would do well.
Yeah. And we went ahead and put that Uber Suggest up there for people. It's on the screen so they can see it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. So Neil, I was going to ask you, if somebody wants to follow you, where would you recommend they go? Should they go to YouTube? Should they go to LinkedIn? I know you've got the omnipresence, but what are you comfortable with? What do you like the best?
Yeah, I personally like LinkedIn. I also like YouTube. Those are my two favorite channels at the moment.
LinkedIn and YouTube?
Yeah.
So do you think Facebook's going to keep growing like it was, or do you think somebody's going to take its place one day?
Nah, it'll keep growing. If you look at the financial reports, Facebook is doing really well from a quarterly perspective. And on top of that, they're really amazing executors. I think they'll crush most people. Whether it's TikTok or whoever comes out, they'll eventually crush them.
So they're just leaving everybody in the dust right now, right?
They are.
Well, you know what, Neil? I'm going to let you go. I know it's your birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you. And thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. So
thank you for coming on. And it was just awesome. I really appreciate it. And I wish you nothing but success. And if there's anything we could ever do for you, please reach out.
Yeah, and I wish all of you guys success who are listening. Again, thank you. Hopefully this was helpful. Keep pushing on. You guys can all do well. Many of you guys are already doing well. And to you, thank you for having me. And I know your birthday is on Saturday, so happy early birthday.
I appreciate that, Neil. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. You guys, that was Mr. Neil Patel, and we really appreciate him coming on here. But before I let you go, you guys, if you found any value in this, please share this out. And don't forget to hashtag replay. We're going to be having a lot of new guests coming on in the next few weeks. A lot of people are coming on here. And so don't forget to hashtag. And I did want to go ahead and mention our sponsor for tonight. That was Innovair Air Conditioning. If you're looking on converting your air conditioning this summer, give them a call at 915-352-3916. They'll be happy to help you and convert. You guys, thank you for watching. We have another big show coming up next week. And don't forget to hashtag replay if you see this later on down the road. My name is Bob Theriot, and I wish you a very good night. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.